Chuck, we're at it again.
Indeed we are.
This time, I just want to talk about nothing.
Oh my God. A show of... What's the deal with nothing? We're doing a show about nothing. All right, that's... You want to talk about nothing?
Let's do this. So
it's official. We're married now. You know that, right?
Somebody hands you a birthday gift.
Right.
Right? And it's a box, and you open it, and there's nothing in it. You'd say there's nothing in it. If it's empty, you'd say there's nothing in it. Correct?
Yes, and I'd also probably say again. Really, guys? Again with the empty box thing.
I don't want to get into your social, personal, family issues. Okay. How your family members treat you, that's another show.
Okay. All right.
So of course, there's air in the box. But generally, we think of air and nothing else as nothing, right?
Right.
There's nothing in the box. But, of course, there's air in the box.
Right.
And I think we think of air as nothing because you can't see the air. Air is just molecules, right? We have oxygen molecule. 2 oxygen atoms together make the oxygen molecule. We have 2 nitrogen atoms together make the nitrogen molecule. That's 98%, 99% of all the molecules you are inhaling. There's others, a little bit of CO2, right. Trace amounts of other atoms and molecules. But the main ones are oxygen and nitrogen, and they're transparent. So you don't think of it as being something. But you could have another gas in there like smoke. You open up the box, there's smoke in the box.
Right.
Okay, because you can see it. So often what we sense or what we declare is or is not is based on just how our senses receive the environment. You go up to a window and you say, the window is transparent. Yes. Well, if you could see with microwaves,
right,
the whole room would be transparent because microwaves pass right through the walls. You know how you know that? Because you pull out your cell phone, which uses microwaves, and you get a signal even if you're in the bathroom.
Not with my carrier.
Oh, you need special bathroom coverage.
I'm just trying to tell you.
All right. So how many molecules are there? So there's about 10 to the 25th power, 1 with 25 zeros worth of air molecules in a cubic meter. Okay,
that's a lot.
A little bigger than a cubic yard. Okay,
that's a lot of molecules.
That's a lot of molecules. Even has that number has a name, a septillion. Septillion. That's right. So now, you want to do better than that. Let's create a laboratory vacuum. Okay.
Okay.
If air is something more than nothing, then let's get rid of the air. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's get Let's get one of the best laboratory vacuums there is. Okay. So that can pump out the molecules and leave you with about 10 billion molecules per cubic meter.
Wait a minute. After you suck everything out.
That's kind of the best you can do with
That's the best you can do. You still got 10 billion.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I took it from 10 to the 25th power to 10 to the 10th power.
I'm just saying. Are we using a Dyson? Okay. Are we using a Dyson? Because maybe
Dyson vacuum would totally kick ass.
Right. We might do better. Okay.
Let's call Dyson, see if they'll sponsor this bit.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm sorry you're not happy with 10 billion molecules per cubic meter when we started with 10 septillion. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So is that nothing, you might ask? Okay. Well, let's forget laboratory vacuums. Let's leave Earth and go into interplanetary space.
The vacuum of space.
Okay. That's 1,000 times less dense than the best laboratory vacuums. That has about 10 million molecules per cubic meter. We just dropped by a factor of 1,000.
Well, why are there still molecules?
Because there's... I'm sorry. I didn't know you'd be that hard to please, Chuck.
I'm trying to get to nothing, man.
We're on our way there. Oh, by the way, there is the very best vacuum there ever was on Earth. Hoover. And it is the track that the hadrons travel in the Large Hadron Collider in the CERN particle accelerator in Switzerland. CERN, CERN, acronym. The Center for European Nuclear Research. Okay.
Right.
and or research nucléaire. It's French, so they got to flip the order.
Research nuclear. Nuclear.
So
I cannot believe there is no smoking here.
all right. So it turns out that vacuum is the best ever made, and that's a better vacuum than in interstellar space. Interplanetary space. Wow. So you want the most nothing place in the entire solar system is in the tube where they accelerate the particles, because they don't want the particles accidentally hitting some other particle when it's trying to hit the target that you have that's going to probe the origins of the universe and looking for, exotic particles that might even include dark matter. But anyhow, let's go from interplanetary space to interstellar space.
Okay.
That's even less. Now we're down to 500,000 particles per cubic meter.
Okay,
500,000.
That's pretty wild. All right, only 500,000.
500,000, correct.
We started at a septillion.
Correct.
And
these are leftover. It's a
meter.
It's a reminder that the universe, there's stuff in the universe, all right? And there are places where it has collected and gathered. That's where you get stars and planets and people. Where it hasn't collected and it hasn't gathered, it's much more scattered, much more tenuous, okay? So that's interstellar space. Now, what would you imagine would have less than interstellar space?
Intergalactic space?
Intergalactic space, because galaxies are gatherings of matter, right? So there, it would be hard to find a few atoms of anything for every 10 cubic meters.
That's so, but it's still not nothing.
Excuse me, I'm on my way there. Damn, you are the most impatient. This thing only lasts 10 minutes, and you can't even just...
I'm just saying, we're all the way out into intergalactic space,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I am light years away from home, and it's like driving between here and, like, Vegas. And, I mean, there's just a lot of nothing going on, and I'm still not at nothing, though.
You're still not at nothing. Okay, so now... So rather than give real live examples, let's give examples that we would imagine you could produce, which is get rid of those 500,000 atoms per 10 cubic meters. Just figure out a way to not have them, okay? So now we have a completely empty box, empty of all matter.
Okay.
Now we ask, is that nothing?
Yeah, because there's nothing in the box.
Except quantum physics.
Oh, God.
There's such a thing as virtual particles that come into existence and then go out of existence in less time than you can actually measure their existence. And totally empty space is seething with virtual particles. Okay, so the best nothing you can ever make would have no ordinary matter, but would still nonetheless be seething with virtual particles. Okay.
Wow.
Now, let's ask a question. Suppose you could step out of our universe so that there's not even the no matter and there's not even the virtual particles.
I'm willing to do that.
Okay, so there's not even nothing.
Right.
So we could get lazy and just call it nothing.
Right.
But I think there's a greater nothing than even that. And this is where I want to leave you. This is where I want to deposit you in the
greater
universe.
Nothing than
you ready?
Nothing.
Imagine you take away all matter and somehow configure a way to where there's not even virtual particles.
Right.
You would still have the laws of physics.
Okay.
Is a region of space nothing if the laws of nature still apply inside that space? See, you're thinking of nothing as substance, and I'm thinking of nothing as not even anything that is anything about anything. So if you systematically remove all laws of physics, all laws of nature, then you have a region of, I can't even call it space, because space is a thing. Space can bend according to Einstein relativity. That's a thing.
The fabric of space.
The fabric of space, no matter what's in it, will bend with or without virtual particles. It's still a thing.
Right.
Okay? So if I get rid of all particles, get rid of the very laws that describe nature, then there's not only not matter, there's not energy, there are no laws of physics, there is no time itself.
There you go. No time.
Now, Chuck, put that in your box, open it, and now you have my permission to say there's nothing in the box.
Right.
There's nothing in the box.
And what do we call that? I'm going to call it something.
What?
Because it's the nothing that is something, which is nothing.